All right, colleagues. Hello, everyone. Let's start with our review. Today, on this Monday, we're beginning a new trading week. First, we'll go over the macro indicators and then move on to technical analysis. So regarding macro indicators, today we see that data on the real estate sector has been released. The real estate sector is currently performing a bit better than expected. The forecasts were a bit weaker. Tomorrow we'll have the release of durable goods sales figures and the level of public trust in the central bank. This is also one of the important macro indicators, which will give us a general idea of the situation in the banking sector. Why? Because I was a bit surprised by the fact that Jerome Powell gave a positive outlook. The markets were rising, but the DXY index still dropped. We'll be analyzing all of this today as well. Next, the reserves compared to Wednesday. On Thursday, we'll have the quarterly GDP report. We'll see what data comes out here and how Trump's policies are progressing. Again, we'll find out the preliminary inflation index for Germany, the manufacturing index, and the Chicago index. Next, 86% expect the rate to be cut, 13% think the rate will stay the same, and the rest don't expect a cut. There have been a lot of liquidations lately. More than 167,000 traders have been liquidated. Long traders are suffering the most right now, but honestly, that's exactly how it was supposed to happen. Regarding ETFs, specifically spot Bitcoin ETFs, on a consistent weekly basis, we are observing significant negative numbers, exceeding an astonishing $11 billion. What else is important here? This is the main thing to pay attention to.
Shadow Viper, let's go back to CoinGlass, take another look at funding rates, and we can also check open interest. We can add it if it's more convenient to view. I think these are important metrics.
We can see that it was quite heavily oversold. Right now, most metrics are showing this. They really indicate readiness for growth. At least that's what the funding rates are showing now. What else should we show?
We can take a look at open interest.
Open interest. A bit. Open interest in the financial markets.
Just to be sure, as far as I understand, open interest means more people are opening longs.
Here, you need to look at each pair separately and on each exchange. If we, for example, take a look, let's check the open interest. Let's see what it shows here. So open interest, but actually this is the number of people who want to buy. We can't check it here. For open interest, we will definitely need a very special program. We can certainly add a dedicated program next time to carefully monitor the open interest levels and their significant fluctuations.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, I will certainly add that particular program. So what else do you have in mind?
Let's move on to the charts then. Although maybe let's check the liquidation map. I'll take a look.
But you see, we haven't reached this zone, $110,000. There's a large amount here. So the other three liquidation levels we have are $110,000, $114,000, and $115,600. These three zones are where the most liquidations will happen. If we had reached $110,000, that would be it. I would be calm and say that we're done. Yes, since we still haven't reached $110,000, I can't confidently say that we're done with the liquidations yet, because there's a large volume here. Over $60 million in liquidations are locked in. That's a lot for a single asset, really a lot. If today we had $800 million liquidated across the entire market, with $500 million of that being long positions, then here we have $60 million just in a single asset. That's why this point makes me a bit uneasy. I'll show you the technical analysis now. Let's take a look. We have a downward trend. It's trying to break through, but it's not succeeding. There have already been attempts, the first attempt, the second one. So if this attempt also fails, then technically we could easily start dropping down in USDT, even if the market keeps growing. But what makes me uneasy? Regarding total, we haven't dropped below $3.7 trillion in liquidity. We haven't taken out this liquidity here, right here. We need to remove this liquidity. For altcoins, we haven't removed the liquidity here, $970 billion. Oops, I mean $million. No, billion, that's right, 70 billion. Bitcoin could pull back a bit higher, all 9%, all 9.2. Ethereum, it's not a good idea to reverse Ethereum. It might correct a bit, but not too much. There's this one here, of course, is like a rocket getting ready to launch. Why? Because we have a narrowing triangle, which should eventually break out upwards. Regarding Bitcoin, what I wanted to say is that it was important for me to remove the liquidity below 110,900. Since it hasn't been removed yet, there are still questions, as they say. Ethereum, pure manipulation. They took out the liquidity above the previous high, took out $20. How much was it here? 4,070, the high was 4,070. Basically 10 above the previous, above the ATH was taken out, and then it immediately went down. A desperate situation. Why? Because it could correct, I think, down to the 30-period moving average, the 30 EMA. I think 4,400 is quite possible to see for Ethereum, but overall, the entire potential is still for further growth. So let's look at the coins you want to discuss. We'll be happy to buy more of them. I'm just going to rearrange some things here.
Come on, I chose to take a significant position today because we had already acquired the substantial amount of Bitcoin that Gaipotov possessed.
And in addition,
Neuro, both are Ether exchanges, just an Ether meta. Since we have an Aether with a charger there in general, even if it wasn't charged yet.
All right, let me just take a moment to fix this particular aspect here. There will definitely be Arbitrum, and there will also be Dawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, then we can proceed to remove it completely. Let's hold off for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So somehow I'm burning. There's Harry Potter over there.
Neuro, I see you. There was a case above. Yeah, right above. That's it. And Bitcoin, Harry Potter. I'll even tell you exactly right now.
Harry
Potter. Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, ten Inu. No, Hippe, that's a different thing. Hippe is Sui.
Oh, it's actually called Harry, right? Here it is.
Yeah, right. That's the one that's called Hari on Mex.
No.
They didn't want to list the second Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's actually doing pretty well, really well. It has good accumulation, good movement. It's trending upward. The market is feeling down, but this one is actually doing quite well, to be honest.
This meme has a very, very organic community. It's very large, and the organic growth is holding up, so I think it has quite a high overall potential.
Yeah, actually, Harry Potter is looking pretty good. All right, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. I'd be happy to answer. By the way, let's take a look. Our portfolio is showing plus 12%. I think that's a good result.
Yeah, I think that compared to most other things, that's actually pretty decent overall, I would say.
Yeah.
So questions, right? So overall, yes, overall, that was clear. We're waiting for 110, or maybe we'll start moving up slowly from the current levels. And ideally, we're aiming to take profits above that. Yeah, and ideally, with this impulse, things should start going up for us. Everything should start rising now, even the junk, so to speak.
Yeah. So,
well, all right then. Thank you for the stream. See you next Monday. We'll keep gradually accumulating and waiting.
yes, agreed. Okay.
All right. Have a good evening, everyone.
And thank you very much. Yes, goodbye, everyone.